I show it's already recording.
Somebody else is recording, I think.
Eh,
Is it saying that it's recording? Yeah, I guess it is. All right, so we're recording. Okay. So, good morning, everybody. Thank you for joining me, and hello and welcome to the Marketing AI Q&A. A lot of letters. Okay, let's do this. Let's get in this big mode so you don't have to just see that. All right. Um, Let me do this. Okay. So I'm so excited today. Thank you for all of you who are joining me live. I appreciate that. What we're going to be doing today is I am going to be taking some questions, but I did get some through my email, like I had requested all of you guys. So I'm going to take an email question and then I'm going to take somebody here live. And so that's what we're going to do. So we'll go back and forth like that just so that I make sure that I get to everybody who emailed me a question. So I want to make sure that we can do that. So let's get started. Oh my goodness. So, for those of you who have not ever joined me before, I'm a big fan of, and I can't seem to make this work. I'm a big fan of PowerPoint. And the reason that I love a good PowerPoint is because I think it helps everybody. So, what I'm going to do here and what I did is, especially for those of you who are watching on the replay, I put the questions up there on the slides, and then I've got some of my answers there too, because I thought it was important so that you guys could see where my brain was going when I answered these questions. So let's jump right into this today. So let's go first because we're talking about AI, we're talking about marketing, and we're talking about how we're going to be using this. I'm not even, as you can see, this is not like my full on presentation. So for those of you who are normally, you know that there's also the intro and all that. I went straight for the questions because I want to make good use of everybody's time today. So Michelle, I love Michelle. I love having conversations with her. Every time I talk to Michelle, she teaches me something new about my health. So I loved it that she gave me this question. So she says she's a health coach. And every time she sits down and she uses Chat GPT to write her content, she says, I just freeze and I don't know where to start. So she says, I write a post, say something like, write me a post about weight loss, because she's a health coach. And it gives me back something that sounds nothing like me. So I end up just closing the tab and go back to what I'm doing it the way that I've always done before. And I get that, Michelle. And Michelle and I have had a conversation about this too. And one of the things that I shared with her that I want to share with you is when you have that issue of, I don't know where to start, I always ask you, and it's the same thing with AI that we do with marketing. Any post that you're putting out there, any blog post, any video, any message on LinkedIn, whatever it is that you're doing, and this information that I'm going to talk about today is going to apply to any of the social platforms, as well as email, as well as whatever you do on your website, like maybe you blog or maybe you do video series or whatever it is that you do. This is the same answer for you. What I always say is before we're posting anything, what is its purpose? What is its intent? We can't just say to ourselves, even if we weren't using AI, write me a post on weight loss. And we would look at ourselves and go, okay, a post on weight loss. I want you to think about it from this place is what is the purpose of this post? So before we even start typing anything into AI, are we trying to educate? Are we trying to build trust? Are we selling something? Who are we talking to? What's their challenge? What do I want them to do next? So when we take this, we're not submitting this information into the AI chat box that says, write me a post. We say something like this, and I'm just making this up. So sorry, forgive me, Michelle. I'm making this up. Um, so I have a purpose. So I want to write, I'm a health coach and I want to write an Instagram reel to educate my followers about their use of sugar. I'm just making up stuff. So who I'm talking to, my followers are generally women between the ages of 25 and 40 years old. And their challenge is they have so much on their plate. They're juggling family, they're juggling work, and it's just really easy to grab something that has sugar in it. So how do I help them to understand how this is challenging them? And what I want them to do next is I want them to join a 10-day sugar-free challenge that I'm doing. So my goal is to send them to the landing page. So that's what I put into chat. That's what I put in the AI bot. So you can imagine that the response that I'm going to get back is not going to be weight loss is good. Weight loss is wonderful for you. This is how we lose weight. It's going to be specific to these women who are busy in their day. It's specific to the sugar. It's specific to the challenge. And so that's what we do. If you don't know where to start, you just back up and think about what is it that you're trying to share? What is the marketing message's point and purpose? All right. So before I get into question number 2, you know what? I'm going to go back because I don't want to. Who's got my first question for me that is here with me live? Raise your hand. Do something. Or you guys just, if you don't have a question, that is 100% fine. If you're just here to learn and listen, you are okay with that. You guys can unmute yourself or you can wave a hand if you have a question. Okay. You want to think about, I see one. Here we go. I got a question. All right. Introduce yourself. Tell us who you are, what you do before we start the question.
Okay, my name is Arba Cooper. I'm a trainer. I work with a small group of mainly solopreneurs who are just getting started in marketing. So
Yes, let's go.
that's why I follow your emails
Mm,
and I just like to keep up to date. So my
let's go.
question really is to you.
Mhm.
What do you believe is the most common mistake that a lot of these solopreneurs are making when it comes to AI?
I think it's where about being about thinking that AI is just a content machine and not understanding that it's a strategy machine. And that if we take the time to, before I even do anything, I say, let's talk about pain points. Let's talk about who my customers are. Let's talk about why they think that my product or service is going to solve whatever challenge this is. And if we get there, if we understand that strategy, AI can understand what to give us back as the output. And so I think that a lot is what I see going on and the conversations that I'm having. And I think that's one of our questions today is somebody, and I'll get to the third question about what someone says, am I missing something? What am I missing here? And that's what it is. It's understanding that the tool, and I think we all jumped in and thought, oh my gosh, I've been spending hours staring at, a blank page. And now I say to it, write me a post for Instagram, and it writes me a post. And I'm so excited about it. And so I just copy and paste it and put it on there. And a lot of us aren't thinking that, did that post have anything to do with your goals? Does that post sound like you? I mean, the biggest thing that I always say to people is at least before you post it up, read it out loud. Don't read it in your head. Read it out loud. Hear your voice say this. And if your voice starts to stumble and say, what is this word? You don't talk like that. And you are not being authentic with your content when you do things like that. So I think one of the biggest things that we need to learn is it's a strategy partner. It's not replacing us. It's a strategy partner. And when we start to use AI like a strategy partner versus write me my next email, the output that we will get will be so much stronger than, give me write this email for my list because I'm trying to sell them on the challenge or whatever it was. I just made that thing up, but you know what I meant.
Yeah. Yeah, I
What's your
agree.
thoughts?
I'm totally agree with you. I'm just a bit frustrated in that it's like created a monster, in my opinion,
Yes.
to some solopreneurs because they don't have a strategy. They
Yes.
don't really have a good service or product. And
Mhm.
so they go to AI, and AI is going to answer and give them what they're asking.
Mhm.
So they're even asking AI for their strategy. They're saying, I have this, I want to do this.
Yeah.
Tell me how to do it. And then they come to someone like me who teaches how to use certain technologies,
Yeah.
and then they're just jumping to, I need to create this, I need to create that, I need, because this is what AI, this is what my chat is telling me to do.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Yeah. I get that. So here's where the conversation comes in that I've had. I actually said this on one of my SCORE workshops. I said, "You're the human. This is not Skynet. This is not telling you what you're doing. You're the human. It's your business. You get to decide, does that sound like me? Is that my goal? Is that what I'm doing? And you make the final decision, not it. You
but they
know,
believe, like, let me just give you one example, then we'll move on.
no, no, you're good. Keep going.
Okay, so this is the guy who teaches real estate fundamentals, how to use your real estate equity
Hmm.
efficiently or whatever. Things you didn't know about your real estate investments.
Which is great.
So, yeah, that's great, but
I love that.
what he wanted to do, so he's not technical, and that's a lot of times when people come to me with, I work with a lot of baby boomers, right?
Got it.
So highly intelligent, but not very technical.
Hmm.
So he used chat to come up with this. He set a goal. And I'll
Hmm.
tell you this in a minute
Okay.
of what he wanted to achieve.
Got it.
And chat gave him a strategy, the marketing
Hmm.
strategy. Here's the things that you need to do, blah, blah, blah.
Hmm.
So he comes to me in April
Okay.
and he said, I need to make $2 million by the end of this year.
Okay.
And chat is giving me a strategy to
Okay.
achieve it.
Okay.
So I told him, I was like, I am not going to, no, first question I asked, have you ever achieved 1 million
Yes.
in
Good
your
question.
business? Yeah, that's
Good
my first.
follow-up question. Good
Yeah.
question.
Have
Love
you
that.
ever even achieved
Hmm.
1 million? No. He says, no, but I know why now because I need to do what
This.
this is saying, what the strategy is saying.
Okay.
And I said, I can teach you, or, even, and I'm not going to, I said I wasn't going to do it because obviously it was a very aggressive marketing plan to
It should
achieve
be.
that because we're
Yes.
talking less than a year. So I said
Yeah.
this to him. I said, I am not the type of person. I'm not going to just take your money. I'm not one of those marketing
Good for you.
predators
Good for
that
you.
will say that, you can achieve this by doing this.
Yeah.
I was like, because I just don't believe that with you not having the technical ability, and even if you paid someone to do that, I don't think it's achievable. But
Hmm.
he swore by chat and, and thought it was. So I'm just saying I'm getting, and that's just one
I
example.
see. I see. Okay.
That's what I'm dealing with.
Okay. I think what you need to do is like I had shared about the human part. You also got to bring reality into this. My first thought when I thought was, has chat considered the economy? Has chat looked at what's happening in his industry and changes? Or did he just ask and let me say and explain that what he did was he asked for strategy. And chat said, here you go. Chat did what it was asked to do.
Right,
Exactly what it was asked to do.
right.
Our role as the humans is to challenge the assumptions. And there are literal prompts that we can be doing within AI that say, I want you to challenge the assumptions of this. Explain to me why this won't work. Tell me um, where I'm going to get stuck. Show me the bottlenecks in this. All of those things that we think about.
Mhm.
Talk to me about my customer journey. What are my touch points along the way to get to this million
Yeah,
fantasy
yeah.
that you
Two,
think
two
you have.
million.
So he was sold a bill of goods and he wants to believe in it because he doesn't know enough about technology. And I think as you as the trainer, you need to just find a way to bring the human back into the conversations, especially if we're talking to baby boomers. And baby boomers, I mean, I'm
Male.
lucky that my mother
A
will
male. A male.
a male. Oh my gosh. Let me just bless you. Bless you. Bless you for doing
I
this
had
work.
to give you the whole context.
Bless you for giving this work. I already picture it in my head. I already picture what you're dealing with in my head. I 100%. So that also means that they know what it feels like to work from the human perspective. And I would just keep bringing back into, remember when we did this? Remember before AI, this is how this worked. It
Oh, he
still
was new. He
works.
he was new. I'll tell you where it went with this because I didn't take him on as a customer
Okay.
because I was like, I am not going to get caught up in that delusional
Yeah,
fantasy.
it is.
So
Oop,
he,
I got another
we
person.
had a series of consultations. And in one of the consultations, he was actually online with either Upwork,
Mm,
Fiverr, or
okay.
something.
Yeah.
And so he's asking me, you know, so are you saying that you can't do this or such and such? And I was like, I'm not saying I can't. I'm saying that is beyond the scope of what the detail that you have. The detail that you have is not really the whole scope of it. And
Mhm.
so he's screen sharing with me that he's chatting with someone on
Mhm.
Upwork or Fiverr that of course are saying, "Oh, I can do this.
Oh yeah,
I can
of course they are. Of
I
course they
can
are. Why
do
wouldn't
this."
they? They want the
Yeah.
job. They want.
Right. So I told him, so the best thing that I can do, and then I'm going to be done to move on,
No, you're
is
good.
I told him, I said, these are the questions you need to ask
Yes.
whoever this is you're chatting with.
Correct.
Because they're going to say, they're going to take, see, they're not going to be as honest as I am or whatever, they're going to take your money,
Yeah. Yeah.
um, ask them for previous results. Who else have they, what other industry, do they even understand your industry?
Yes.
What I
Yeah.
like about what you said is also when people are doing or asking for these things, like you said, put into chat, say, take into consideration the economy,
Economy.
you know,
Your
um,
industry changes. How is the economy affecting your industry? It's not just the economy itself, but I know that the economy is affecting my industry.
mhm,
And so
mhm,
I have to adjust. And so when I do things like this, when I ask for strategy, I always say, put the economy into this. This is what's happening. This is what's been going on. A year ago, I saw this. Now I see this. So I'm giving it context because one thing we want to keep in mind, and this goes for everybody on here, what AI is doing is AI is just scrubbing the internet, looking for data. And
mhm.
then it takes the data and it looks for patterns. So if somebody asks the question of what's the top post on Instagram and 100 people answered this question, this becomes the data point that gets relayed back to us as it's this, because over 100 people have said it's this. So it's pulling data that it's pulling from things. And so, yes, it's going to pull some data about your industry, but its job is not to study your industry and to be involved in your industry like we are.
Mhm.
We are the ones that need to make sure that we see this information to it's a tool. We share it with the tool. It's like bringing in a virtual assistant who's never done any of this work before and then we hand them an SOP, standard operating procedures of
Mhm.
this and this and this or a checklist and say here do it.
I think something else that's important, and I just thought about this, is that when solopreneurs are looking to take on projects like that they
Mhm.
know they can't do themselves, they
Yeah.
should honestly tell their chat, this is my knowledge level.
Mm-hmm.
This is my I
Yes.
don't know how to do the da da da. And then should say what questions should I ask um people to do this. And I'm going to segue to what, and then I'm going to shut up,
No, you're
which
good.
brings in AI agents now.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, I have been
That-
studying AI agents and I am doing I actually created a whole learning course for myself to learn more. That's a whole other story. That's just how
Yeah,
weird I am. But that's me. But I think for you as the trainer moving forward, and if boomers, these people who are low tech, but still moving forward with their businesses are your target, I think you need to start having the questions with them immediately as you're the human. You're the human. And if you want to make a joke about it, this isn't Terminator. This isn't Skynet. Here's an even better one because of their age. Say the word how. I'm sorry, I cannot do that right now.
yeah.
And they will know exactly what you're talking about because so for
Right.
those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, Space Odyssey, don't make me feel old, go rent it. Good movie. But if you say that to them, they'll laugh. But
Yeah,
you say you that's what I'm talking about here.
yeah,
This is what we're doing with. And so just kind of lay it out for them, the groundwork of how this works, because I don't think they understand how this works. And so
right.
you as the trainer has the opportunity, which will then also encourage more people to want to work with you because you're coming at it from this angle of, sure, not, oh, we'll just do whatever you want. You're coming at the angle where I want you to do what is possible, what is reality, what is going to help your business.
Right.
If you come from
Whether
that
they
place.
like it or not, I just today had to refund someone their money,
Wow.
not because they asked for it,
Uh,
but
you,
because I wanted to
you,
give it back to her because I just could not deal with her delusion. So,
and you know what's interesting? And let me just, and I know I'm going to go on to the next one, but let me just say one more thing to you before I let you go. And as you continue to listen, this is a really good, a couple of months ago in the collective, we did a topic called the gatekeeper. And I explained to everybody what a gatekeeper is. And a gatekeeper is basically the person that determines who's a good fit for my business and who's not. These questions for you are your gatekeeper. And so when you are sitting here and looking at somebody and saying, you and I are not a good fit, you are the gatekeeper. And I want it, and if I were you, do a little work for your own business on thinking about how I could set up my marketing as an automated gatekeeper. So if you're this person who does this and this, you go here to a yes. If you're a person who's like this and this, you're kind of a maybe and I could talk to you a little bit. But if you're a person who's this and this, you're definitely a no. I'm just going to move you into a DIY type of situation where where maybe I could still, get some income and we could work together in that way, but not in the sense. And so if you set this up like a gatekeeper system for yourself, I
mhm,
think you won't have to do these things where you are refunding money.
mhm.
So, and that's just a thought as I'm listening to you talk right now. I know that was not AI related, but I
Well,
just
it
wanted to
was.
share that with
It
you.
it was because that gets back into agents that
Yeah,
I
yeah,
could,
actually it does. So it
yeah,
was AI related, but I
yeah.
just wanted to share that with you because as I'm listening to you, that was a piece that keeps sticking out in my head that I think run some information about how to set my business up with a gatekeeper situation and how can I not have to refund money and do this kind of stuff.
Yeah, that last one, that was on me because this was the third time she came to me
And I
over a
get that.
course of years, and I finally gave in,
And
and
I
I
get that.
shouldn't have.
And I understand. I'm in no way saying anything bad. I'm just saying that you know this now.
Yeah,
You are very clear to me. You did not stutter when you're talking. I'm very clear about who you are and what your goals are and who you want to work with. I think your marketing needs to separate that so that you become clear who you sign on and who becomes a maybe and who's a definite no.
now that one was spirit. I need to. I should have listened to my spirit. That's what that one was,
That's on
clearly.
you. That's on you.
Yeah,
I can't. That one's on you.
that one was totally on me.
I can't help
So
you with that one.
yeah, yeah.
All right. Well, thank you for your question. I
Yeah,
appreciate
thank
that.
you for what you do. Like I said, I get your emails. I first found you on Score. I used to be a Score mentor.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
That's why you do this.
yeah,
Ah,
yeah.
I
But
gotcha.
I do it for pay now because I couldn't do it anymore for free.
Yeah, no. I love the people at Score, but I get that.
Yeah.
I've been
All
working with
right.
Score for a long time. All right. Thank you so much. I
Yeah.
appreciate that. All right. So
Thank
now what
you.
we're going to do, I know that I had another person come join us. I'm going to go one more. I've got another question that came to me through email, and then I'm going to take another person here live because I promised the people who came here through email that I would do their questions. All right. The second one that I got, and if this is anybody here and you guys want to jump, that's another thing. You know, if anything that comes up and you guys want to jump in and bring into your situation, let's do that as well because I'm kind of open. I don't this is not a formal presentation. I'm going to do whatever I'm doing what I want today. And if you guys are going to hear and you want to talk, let's talk. All right. Second question. A business productivity coach, Julia. I love Julia too. I love everybody I work with. Am I going to say that to everybody? Probably. I've been using AI to create a month's worth of content ideas. I then take that and break it out for what to post every week. I post consistently, I get some likes, and sometimes I get a comment, but nobody's reaching out to work with me. And I can't figure out what the disconnect is between the content I'm putting out and what's actually getting clients. And here's the thing. Let me stop for a second. Years ago, I don't remember when it was. I want to say it was like 10, 15 years ago. I used to refer to myself as a productivity coach. And so I get where she's coming from. I know exactly what Julia's doing because in her eyes, she's like, how much can I get done every week? So that's why she's doing a month's worth of content ideas and then breaking it out every week. And she's posting consistently. She is consistently out there, but she's not been able to connect what she's doing into making sales. And so I think that this is a really important piece because one of the things that I've shared with everybody in the collective, and I'm going to share this here as the answer. What I find is that when we create our content, it's just, I don't want to say random. It's just that, like Julia, I think she's posting just to say she's posting. I think she's doing it. And 100% frequency is a thing. I'm not going to lie. Frequency helps with an algorithm. Frequency helps with, especially if you have a large community and everybody doesn't see every single post. I get that. I really do. But what I believe is happening with Julia and could be happening with the rest of you out there is that her posts are very random because she's just trying to fill up a month. She's saying, okay, let me just put a quote here. Let me put a video here. Let me do streaming here. And there's not a plan in place. So she's just posting just to post. And again, what we talked about last time was if you're just putting generic stuff, if you're telling, chat, I want a month's worth of content ideas about productivity. Let me see them. And then it goes, there you go. And it's going to give you a month's worth of ideas. And you say, I want this, 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 and this, turn these into Instagrams, this, and this, turn this into LinkedIn. And it will do that. And it's great. But are these quotes? Is this LinkedIn post? Is this Instagram? Is it connected to anything? Or are you just trying to get yourself out there and make sure that you're posting? Is it connected to an offer? Is it connected to a business goal? Like maybe your business goal is you want to grow your email list. And that could be a fantastic business goal because you could, sell through the email list. So if your goal is to grow your business, your email list, and you've got 30 days worth of content and not one of them says anything about the call to action is here, click here to join my list or download this freebie and get on my list, there's the disconnect. So if we're just posting to post and not thinking about our customers, and basically what this is, these bullet points that I'm just showing you here, this is like the breakdown of how you would create your post. What's the offer that we're doing? And the offer doesn't necessarily always mean a sale. The offer could mean something as simple as reading a blog post, watching this training video, and if you read a blog post or you watch a training video, then you could say, oh, that's what it's like to work with her. That makes more sense to me now. We could be doing that, but what that's doing is that's supporting that goal. If the goal is to get somebody on my email list, for you to watch the training video, guess what I need to do? I'm going to get your email. So we want to think about doing things like that. And so we think about it from that place. And again, just like I did with the first question, and we talked about before, what you put in to your AI prompt, the more specific you could be. If you could say, I am trying to grow my email list, and right now I have a training video series that I want people to get onto my list, and to get the video series, they need to give me their email. And this problem solves the fact of, oh, that's a productivity person, how to set up a content calendar. So their next step is I want them to go to this landing page and to sign up for this video series. That was all convoluted, which just came out of my mouth. But basically, if I was to put that information into the AI prompt, what's going to come back to me is going to be content that is now connected to my business goal. It's now connected to the idea of sending people to this video challenge and sending them to get on my email list. And so, yeah, I've got content ideas, and maybe I put a quote here or I do a live stream here, but I want to make sure that within that 30 days of content, I'm creating content that's supporting my marketing goals. And I think that that's where the disconnect is coming in for some people. All right. I'm going to go to another question. Does anybody else here live have a question for me? If you can wave at me, you can take yourself off of audio. What are we on? Mute? That's the word I was looking for. Okay. I never can tell who's just here to listen or who has a question. Okay, I'm going to keep going. So for those of you who are here with me live and you do have a question, raise your hand, wiggle at me or something. Let me know that you're here. I'm going to keep going. All right, let me get to my third one. My third one, KT, sells skincare products. And this is the person that I was talking about. KT feels like everybody has this figured out. Everybody knows what they're doing. She says, I'm watching people talk about how it's transformed their marketing, and I'm over here still manually writing everything, feeling like I missed something obvious that everybody else already knows. What am I missing? I think that what it is it keeps going back to the whole idea of understanding how to use AI like a strategy partner as opposed to a content machine. Because if we're coming in here thinking about it from that place, the strategy itself, and I know that we had this big conversation about boomers and strategies and $2 million and all of that, and I get that, but the strategy that comes out of AI is not bad. It's not horrible. It's not terrible. But the problem is that we're asking it to do all of these things without giving it information first. One of the first things that I did when I started using Claude was I put into Claude, I called it my voice samples, and I put copies of some of my best posts that I've written, some of my best emails that I've sent, one of my blog posts that I thought was one of the best ones that really sounded like my voice. So that way I know that Claude has my voice. So I start like that. I start letting Claude understand this is my business. This is who I am in my business. These are my customers in my business. And this is what I'm trying to do. These are my goals, whether it's grow my email list, whether it's make sales or get another client or sell my product to 50 people. Whatever my goal is, it's important that we give this information because there's context that happens around us saying, write me a post. And I really think that what's missing is that, let me start that sentence over again. I think we've all had the experience now, especially if you've been using AI for a while, that when you first started using it, it was like, oh my gosh, wow, there's my email in 10 seconds. And I usually sit here for an hour and try to write that. Or, oh my gosh, what a great idea. I did not even think about it, or I did not even look at it that way. And so we all got wrapped into this and we all got pulled into this, which is easy to do because after years and years and years of struggling all of this by ourselves, which we have been doing for years and years and years all by ourselves, to have somebody there, to feel like we have an accountability partner, to feel like we've got a coach that all we got to do is pull up a tab and ask it a question. And it's just been so, I don't want to say the word relief, but there's a feeling of, because I felt it too, like, oh my gosh, I finally got some help. I finally got somebody that I can talk to, that I can, go back and forth with without having to spend, $5,000 a month to talk to somebody. Yeah, go ahead. I think you're still muted.
Yeah, out of respect, I mute myself if I'm not
Oh, yeah.
talking. Um, that the scenario you gave is different than what I'm seeing,
Okay.
meaning that you gave a scenario or example of someone who has gone through years of doing it themselves,
Interesting.
of
Interesting point.
really toiling through and knowing the pain of creating an
That's a
email
good
blast.
point.
I'm dealing with people who are just like, okay, with SCORE. There's people that come to SCORE and
Yeah.
they're brand new in
Yeah.
business and they're
Yeah.
clueless.
Right.
And so now we've given them a ammunition, or what do they
Hmm.
call it? And so they don't know the pain of
I see. Yeah, good
what
point.
it really takes. So then they are, now it's like the instant, like like the microwave. There's
Yeah.
people that know really how long it takes to cook a really good home cooked meal, and then there's the ones that just take frozen, pop it in the microwave,
Yeah.
and think that's wholesome.
Yeah.
So
I understand. Yeah, good point.
that's what's happening
I love
is
that point. And
yeah,
you know what's interesting about that too is they don't they're looking at the tool differently than we are.
correct.
And so their version of the tool is not what am I missing,
Right.
but look at this, it's doing all this stuff for me. It has to know what it's talking about because it's AI.
AI slop.
Yeah. Except at the very, very bottom of everything, it says AI may make mistakes.
Yeah.
Did you ever see that
Yeah.
little word that
Yeah.
says you need to
They don't
check?
see it. They
There's
don't
a little
see it.
thing that says AI may make mistakes.
Yeah.
It's not 100% accurate any more than we would think that, asking our lawyer a
But
question.
it's only as accurate as, like we said earlier, the data that you give it.
Mhm.
Because I have given a prompt before and it came back with something, and me knowing better because I've known you've been doing it for you. Then I'm like, oh my God, I forgot to tell it this. I forgot to tell it,
Yeah.
whatever. But you have those that don't, they don't have the marketing fundamentals, so they don't even know that what's coming back is missing something.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. And so that's interesting. I love that you brought that up because that's a different perspective, and I appreciate the different perspective. And it makes complete sense because I could also see anybody starting because then you'll also have that. I imagine you might have this experience of people coming from corporate to start a business who have never started a business, but have all the skills and the benefits of knowing what it's like to work in the corporate
Correct.
and then starting their own business. which is a completely different animal than working for a corporation.
Correct.
And so they're coming with their perceived, what's the word I'm looking for?
Well,
Perceived
expectations are just
expectation
whatever. I know what you're saying. Yeah.
is a
That
word.
because you have those that were at executive levels that had administrators or marketing departments and all of that did that. So they had great visions, goals and whichever, but they didn't know how it was getting done.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. It's interesting. Yeah, it's a good way. I'm glad. I'm so glad you showed up today because you've adding a new perspective to my thought process on how all of this is working.
Well, that's the thing is that many people have said, why do I work with the level of clients that I work with? It's because that is where my passion, my heart is. I've been blessed, but I give a whole different perspective because so many people work with, and
Yeah.
there's so many opportunities and choices when you have money. When you have money, when you have certain knowledge or whichever, yes, you can there's a lot more opportunities, let's just say that. But when someone is just getting started, whether they're coming from corporate or whether they're still working three jobs and trying to start a
Yeah.
side business, um, I just believe that they need support as well. And in
Yeah.
some respect, it was easier for me to support them before AI because now they're
I,
delusional.
I
And
see that. I see that. But I like I said earlier, I think part of your plan now is you need to start the training like this is our first session, and our first session is about how AI works. And let me explain to you how this works. And let me explain to you how we're going to use it and how we're going to make it work for you.
well,
And
I'm still doing my training is still the same. I'm just so instead of me because I don't really I the reason I'm here today is I don't do AI training
I see.
because of what I'm talking about. So
Yeah, I get that.
so I teach the fundamentals. What is a landing page? Why do you need email
Yeah.
marketing? What is a lead magnet? So now what I'm going to make sure to do is incorporate in the fundamental training is the right and wrong way to use AI
Yes. Right.
with this,
I think so. I think you have to bring this into this.
Yeah.
And not that you're, and I understand you don't want to teach them how to use AI, but there's going to be moments when you're going to be having these conversations like I am, where you just said, who's your client?
Hmm.
What's the product? What's the
Hmm.
goal? What's the
Right.
next step? And now what we're going to do is I want you to answer each one of those questions, and we're going to put this into the AI chat, and that's how you're going to get it back. That's
Hmm.
what I mean by teaching them how to use AI from that.
I like read the chat. You've got some good
I
comments.
know I saw that coming too. So
Yeah.
let me I think we've kind of gone through all my questions here, but I've got some stuff happening in the chat here that I'm going to pull up too. So we had somebody jump in here and I don't have a first name. Um so I depend where Matina, thank you. Thank you for your name. As I like to call people by their names. Okay, Matina says you've depended too much on AI and it's giving you incorrect information. I know. A map of the oh wow. An ordinance number that was wrong. Wow. It did a good job telling me what our differentiators are from the competition. That's good. I didn't even know how to ask that question. I was just asking it to look at my website, and it led me to how we stand out from our competition. Now I have to implement. Maybe it will help me with that. I have to go because I'm stuck. All right, Matina, I'll answer your question because you just have to go, and you can just watch this in the replay because everybody will get the link to the replay in the email on Saturday. Okay, so what's happened there? And let me explain this to you if you're still with me. What happened is when you asked it to look at your website, what it was doing, it was going through its own checklist, its own internal checklist. And that's why, no, I have to go back. Oh, I meant, oh yeah, you have to go back to AI. Thank you. So it was doing its internal checklist. And I have to tell you, one of the things I love about AI is that it does pull stuff like this. It does pull out things like this and it says to you, have you looked at your competition? Have you done this? Have you done that? So one of the things that we can be doing with AI, so let's say, Matina, you wanted to review your website and it came up with, what did you say? How we stand out from our competition. So what I want you to do is I want you to go back and I want you to ask AI this. I want you to say, act like a marketing strategist. And when you're looking through my website copy and comparing it to the competition, give me 5 examples of how our product or service, because I don't know what you're selling, our product or service is stronger than them, is more viable than them, is more sustainable than them. Ask it to ask it questions to start challenging this assumption about your competition. Dig into understanding, how do you stand out from your competition before you do anything on your website. Spend a little time, Matina, going back and forth and challenging. Well, what about this? What about their price compared to ours? What about if you know if it gives you, say, if give me 3 competition companies that do the things that I do. Find their social media, find their website, copy and paste it and put it into chat and say, this is the competition that you told me to go look at. This is what their posts are saying. This is what their website's saying. How does this compare to the work that I'm doing? And how do we stand out against this competition? So what we're doing right now is we're doing the strategy work. We're digging in deep. I have never, at this point, I'm asking questions, I'm digging in deep. And what's going to happen too is I know you're working on your website and you're going to get all kinds of really great um, conversion. That's the word I'm looking for. Conversion type language for your website, which is what you're looking for. But when you do things like that, it's also going to help you understand, that was a pain point I hadn't thought about. I could write a whole blog post on that. Or, I didn't realize that my customers went through these touch points for their customer journey. I bet I could do a video series on that, helping people to understand. So when we're doing this kind of strategy work, it's not just about how we're making the decisions about what copy we should be saying on our website. It also starts to help us understand more about our customers, more about our messages, more about our competition that's out there. So when you're thinking about where to start, Matina, that's where I would suggest you to go. Just start asking questions, and if you don't know where to say, name me 3 competitors that are already online that are active, and then start to research their information, dump that into AI and have it do a comparison. And that's a good place to get started on that. I just went a full circle, but I think you knew what I was trying to say. All right, I got another one. Great. Thank you. So think about that, Matina, and think about how you can move through that process. See, when we think about it from that place, that's when we are using AI as a strategy tool. And it's not just a content machine. And that's the piece that I hear constantly, all the time, over and over again. And people are like, well, how do I use it as a strategy tool? That's exactly what I just gave. I gave you the steps on how to walk through that. And not once was the question that I asked it, what's my website copy? Because I didn't even get to my website copy yet. I'm still working through all the other stuff. And that's the point that AI is so fantastic about, because it has all of this data that it's whatever, like the little spiders going out there on the internet, and it's pulling it. And it has all of this data to give us. It's just a matter of us finding a way to organize it and making sure that it's connected to our business goals. And it's not just, hey, that's a really great idea. And yeah, it's a really great idea. But is it going to help you sell whatever it is you're selling? So think about it from that place. Okay, so anybody else? Questions? This was really fun. I wanted to make sure that everybody saw this today too, because we are still talking about, the Marketing Strategy Collective. This is what we do every single month in the Marketing Strategy Collective. You get a workbook, and we have a specific topic. A couple of months ago, we had Gatekeeper. This month, we are doing, what are we doing this month? Oh, we've been talking about the power of small habits. Oh, that's been a fun conversation too. And then we end up having, well, you get your workbook sent to you every single month. And the thing about the workbooks is you get prompts and information, and then you take your answers and you put them into, I build an AI prompt for you. And so you put all your answers into an AI prompt, and then it comes out with a habit plan or the content plan or whatever it is. And it's based on your answers. It's not based on what I think you should be doing. And then we get together once a month on a Zoom call and we have conversations like this. There's no formal presentation. I don't show up with slides like I am right now today. But you could, you have conversations. And it's not just me. There's other business owners there who have done things, who have programs that you could be using, who have suggestions, who have perspectives that you might not have even thought about. So this is what we do in the Marketing Strategy Collective every month. And this is a really good opportunity for you all to see sort of a behind the scenes of what happens every month in a Zoom call. We have questions, we have answers, and we all have these conversations, and we walk away with opportunities to help us grow our business. All right. Had to get that out. Anybody else? We still got a few more minutes. If anybody's got anything else to say. Any questions about the Marketing Strategy Collective? No? Because I said it so clear.
No, that's great. Are you finding that there's a variance between the skill sets of the people in the collective, that you find yourself repeating things that
No.
or are you qualifying? How we
Yeah.
talked about earlier. Are you
Yeah.
kind of
Yeah. The Gatekeeper. That was our month. I don't remember when we did Gatekeeper. We did Gatekeeper back in March. That was a great conversation. Ooh, we had
Tell
a
me, are
whole
you
conversation about sales. And I'll give you an example, because what we did that month about sales is everybody's coming from a different place. I have different businesses. And I have one person who doesn't own the business, but she's the face of the business and she handles all of the marketing. So she still feels like a big part of the decision making person. And so everybody's in different levels. Some people would just started. We had one person who is reworking her business a little bit, but we all come from we're business owners and we want to grow our business.
So have they, in the collective, they've all been in business for a certain amount of time? Do you have startups in there?
No, I don't have any startups.
Okay, that's what I
Don't
meant,
have any
because
startups.
that can really skew a
Yeah.
collective.
No, we don't have startups.
Okay.
And it's not been because I've said no to them, but I think that the people who have come to us are in a different space
Yeah.
because they're past that point. They all
Right.
know what they're selling, who they're selling to,
hmm
what their goals are. Our goal together every single month is to help you grow your business, is to
Right.
help you make more sales, is to help you understand how to reach more people with your marketing.
Yeah.
And
And that's why I asked that. I think that's awesome.
that's what we
But
do.
because that's what I had to learn, is you can't mix. You
Mhm.
really, well, not that you can't, but you
I
shouldn't
know. Yeah.
mix those startup people with those that are in a growth phase.
Yeah, and I think that that's probably when the startups look at us and go, not me. I mean, and again,
Yeah.
that's my gatekeeper program at
Yeah.
work, because we are, and I won't say that all of us have been in business. I've been in business for 25 years,
Yeah.
but I've got one person who's got I don't want to say she's got a full-time job. because her goal this year is to quit her job and to do her other thing full time.
Mhm.
That's what we are supporting her
That's
on.
what every startup business.
But she's been working her business for a
No,
couple of
I know.
years.
That was a joke. I'm just saying
Yeah,
that's a joke.
I know what you meant. That's why I had to preface it by saying she's been doing her business for years. But she decided in January, she's like, this is it.
Yeah,
I've been working this other business and I've been doing this other business for years, and I really want to do this business 100%. So
yeah,
this year, our goal with her is so that she can now make enough money and grow her client base that she can leave.
yeah,
And so that's what we're doing with her. And so everybody, you know what I mean? Everybody's got like a different goal.
yeah, yeah,
And so,
yeah,
but I just love the conversations. And that's one of the reasons
yeah,
why I did this today. It's because I truly believe that there's so much going on that a conversation sometimes can help us move past, I don't know what's going on, to, huh, that's a good way to look at that. That's a good way for me to go and move forward. And sometimes
yeah.
that's all it takes.
Right, right. Well, Penny, this has been great. I
Yes, thank
have
you.
I'm in the East Coast, so I have a noon appointment
Ah,
that see what she's gonna talk about, what
yeah,
delusional question.
it's all right. Oh, bless your heart. I appreciate you,
Love them. I
the
love
work
them
that you
though.
do. I love
Thank
that. I love the work
you.
that you're doing. And
Thank
I hope
you.
you stay in touch with me.
Thank
And
you.
if there's
Yeah.
anything if you're interested in joining us in the collective, I'd love for you to come join us.
Yeah. That's why I was asking the
Hmm?
dynamics of the group. So anyway, I applaud you for
All
doing
right.
this.
Thank you. Thank you so
And
much, everybody, for showing up today.
yeah.
And for all of you who are watching us live, thank you. I think I might do this every month. I think I'm gonna have a topic
Mhm.
and I'm just gonna open it up for questions,
Yeah, you might as well
conversation.
because AI is changing rapidly.
Because next month, my SCORE
Rapidly.
workshop is about storytelling.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking
Mhm.
maybe next month I might do a Q&A about storytelling.
Well, if I'm available, like
I'd
I
love for
was
you to be here.
today, then I'll join. But I gotta
Yay!
go.
Okay.
All right.
Bye, everybody.
Thank
Thank you so
you.
much for joining me. Everybody have a good rest of your day.